Hey, before we start today, I want to ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. How many times have you set a goal to improve your English, and then a few weeks later, you just stopped?
Oh, that is a painful question to start with, Eva.
I know, but it is important because most people think the reason they stopped is that they were lazy or not motivated enough, or maybe their goal was too big. But what if none of that is true? What if the goal itself was actually the problem?
Wait, say that again? The goal was the problem?
The goal was the problem. And today, we're going to talk about why. Welcome to English Chats Daily. I'm Eva.
And I'm George. And if you are someone who has ever felt frustrated about your English progress, who has tried and stopped, tried again and stopped again, then stay with us because this conversation might completely change the way you think.
And not just about English, about everything. There's a quote that we want to build this whole episode around. It says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." When I first heard that, I just sat there for a moment because it felt like someone finally said the thing that explains why I had been struggling for years.
Where does that quote come from?
It comes from a book called Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. And if you've never read it, don't worry. We're going to bring the most important ideas into this conversation in a way that's easy to follow. No complicated language, just real talk.
I love that. Okay, so Eva, let's go back to the beginning. Goals. We all have them. We write them down, we feel excited, we tell our friends. And then what happens?
And then life happens, and the excitement fades, and the goal just sits there like a to-do list item that never gets done. I remember one January, I told myself, this is the year I finally speak English with confidence. I had a goal, I had a notebook, I even made a little plan.
What happened?
By February, the notebook was under my bed, and I felt worse than before because now I had the guilt of failing on top of everything else.
Oh, that guilt. I know that guilt. And I think that's actually one of the hidden problems with goals, right? When you fail to reach a goal, you don't just lose the goal, you lose a little bit of your confidence too.
Exactly. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. The goal was never designed to keep you going. A goal is just a destination. It doesn't tell you how to drive. It doesn't build the road. It just says, get there.
And if you don't have a road, you get lost, or you get tired, or you sit down somewhere and never get up again.
Right. So think about this for a second. Think about someone who decides they want to run a marathon. Their goal is to cross the finish line. But what actually gets them there, it's not the goal, it's the training, the Tuesday run, the Saturday run, the stretching routine, the small daily habits. That's the system.
And once the marathon is over, if all they had was the goal, what happens next? The goal is gone, so they stop running.
But if they built a system, if running became part of who they are, part of their daily life, then they keep going because the system doesn't disappear when the goal is reached.
I want to ask the listener something right now. Think about your English learning. Do you have a goal? Okay, now think harder. Do you have a system? A specific time every single day where you practice? Not sometimes, every day.
That's the real question, isn't it? And this is where another book comes in. It's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and the main idea is both beautiful and a little uncomfortable. He says that the things that create success are easy to do, but they're also easy not to do.
That's kind of obvious when you say it, but it's also really deep when you sit with it.
Right, because it is easy to open an English podcast for 10 minutes today. It is also easy not to. And if you skip one day, nothing terrible happens. Your English does not fall apart. You do not feel a big consequence. So your brain says, it is fine, skip again tomorrow.
And then a week passes, and then a month, and then you look back and wonder why nothing changed.
And this is exactly the trap. The small things that create progress are invisible in the short term. You do not feel smarter after one conversation. You do not notice your accent improving after one practice session. But after 100 sessions, everything is different.
So the system is the thing that keeps you in the game long enough to see the results. Is that right?
That is exactly right. The goal shows you the direction, but the system keeps you moving. And here is the part I really want everyone to hear. You do not need more motivation. You need a better system.
Okay, I want to pause here for a second because I know some people listening right now are thinking, okay, this sounds nice, but what does a system actually look like? Like specifically for English learning, can we get practical?
Yes, let us get very practical. And let us keep it simple, because simple is what works. Complicated plans are just goals in disguise. They feel good to make, but they rarely happen.
So what does the English Chats Daily system look like?
3 things. That's it. 3 things every single day. First, a fixed 10 minutes speaking time. Not when you feel like it, not when you have free time. A fixed time. Maybe it's after your morning coffee. Maybe it's before you sleep, but it's the same time every day.
And what do you do in those 10 minutes?
You speak out loud in English. You describe what you did today. You talk about what you're thinking about. You repeat sentences you heard. You practice saying new words. You have a small conversation with yourself. It sounds strange, but it works, because the muscle of speaking, your confidence, your fluency, it only grows when you actually use it.
I used to think that was weird, talking to yourself in English. But then I started doing it, and honestly, my fluency in real conversations improved faster than any class I ever took.
Because you were building the system. You were showing your brain every single day, this is who I am now. I am someone who speaks English.
Ooh, I like that. Say that again.
I am someone who speaks English. Not, I want to speak English. Not, someday I will speak English. Right now, today, I am someone who practices every day.
That's the identity shift. And James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. He says the most powerful form of motivation is when your habits match your identity. When you think of yourself as a certain kind of person, you act like that person.
And the beautiful thing is, you don't wait to become that person before you start. You become that person by starting. Every 10-minute practice session is a vote, a small vote that says, I am this person. And over time, those votes add up.
Okay, so that's step 1. Fixed 10-minute speaking time. What's step 2?
Step 2, 2 new words every day. Just 2, not 20, not 100, 2. And you don't just memorize the definition, you make one sentence with each word. One real sentence from your life.
Can we do an example right now?
Yes, let's do it. Today's first word is consistent. It means doing something regularly, not stopping and starting. And the sentence could be, I want to be consistent with my English practice, even on difficult days.
I love that. The sentence uses the word, and it also connects to what we're talking about, so it sticks better in your memory.
Exactly. The second word for today is momentum. It means the energy or speed that builds up when you keep doing something. And a sample sentence could be, once I started practicing every day, I felt my momentum growing, and it became easier to keep going.
Consistent momentum. 2 beautiful words for today. And if you're listening, say them out loud right now. Consistent momentum. Seriously, say them. We'll wait.
Because speaking out loud is part of your system, not just listening. Listening is passive. Speaking is active. And you need both. But speaking is the one most people avoid because it feels uncomfortable.
And that brings us to step 3, the never miss twice rule.
This one is so simple and so powerful. You will miss a day. Life happens. You get tired, you get busy, you get sick. That is okay. But you never miss 2 days in a row. Never miss twice. Because 1 missed day is a pause. 2 missed days is the beginning of quitting.
That is such a relief, actually, because I used to think that if I missed a day, I had failed. And then, because I felt like I failed, I would give up completely. Like, what is the point now? I already broke my streak.
And that is the all or nothing thinking that destroys more progress than anything else. The system does not require perfection. It requires return. You come back. You always come back.
Okay, so let us do a quick midway check because we have covered a lot, and I want to make sure everyone is still with us. Ready?
Ready.
Point 1. Goals give you direction, but they do not keep you moving. You need a system for that. Point 2. The small daily actions, the ones that are easy to do and easy to skip, those are the ones that actually create change over time, the slight edge idea. Point 3. Your English system is 3 things: a fixed 10-minute speaking time every day, 2 new vocabulary words with 1 sentence each, and the never miss twice rule.
And point 4, which is the big one. You aren't trying to reach a goal. You're becoming a person. You're building an identity. I am someone who practices English every day.
I want to go back to that identity piece for a moment, because I think this is where everything either clicks or does not click. When I was learning English, for a long time, I thought of myself as a bad English speaker who was trying to get better. And that identity actually kept me stuck, because every time I made a mistake, it confirmed the story. See, you are bad at this.
But when you shift to, I am someone who practices every day, the mistake doesn't define you anymore. The practice defines you. The mistake is just part of the practice.
And that is such a different relationship with failure. Failure is not evidence that you can't do this. It's just part of the process of someone who is doing this.
And I think this is especially important for shy learners, because so many people who are shy about speaking English, they're not shy because they lack ability. They're shy because they're afraid that one mistake will reveal something terrible about them.
And that fear is so heavy. It stops people from speaking at all, which means they never practice, which means they never improve, which means the fear grows stronger. It's a cycle.
But the system breaks that cycle, not by removing the fear, but by making practice so small and so daily that you do it even when you're scared. And each time you do it scared, the fear gets a little smaller.
I want to share something that a listener sent us last month. She said, I used to be so afraid to speak English that I wouldn't even try. I started doing the 10-minute daily practice, just talking to myself at home. After 3 weeks, I spoke in a meeting at work. It wasn't perfect, but I spoke, and I cried afterward, happy crying.
That story gets me every time, because that's what this is really about. It's not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about finding your voice in a language that didn't feel like yours before, but now it does.
Okay, wait. Think about this for a moment. A year from now, there's 2 versions of you. Version 1 set a goal at the beginning of the year, got excited, lost momentum, and feels the same as today. Version 2 built a small daily system, 10 minutes a day, 2 words a day, never miss twice. That version is having conversations, watching English videos without subtitles, feeling confident in a way they never expected.
The difference between those 2 versions isn't talent, it's not intelligence, it's not even time. It's the system or the lack of one.
And the beautiful thing is, you can choose right now which version you're building. Not next Monday, not after you feel ready, right now.
Because readiness is also a trap. We wait to feel ready, but the system is what creates readiness. You don't feel confident first and then practice. You practice first and then confidence follows.
Okay, let's bring this home. Eva, what's the action plan? 3 steps, simple and clear.
Step 1. Choose your 10 minutes. Look at your day right now, tomorrow morning or tonight. What 10 minutes can you protect? Not find, protect. Put it in your schedule like an appointment you cannot cancel.
Step 2. Write down 2 words. Consistent and momentum are the ones from today. Write them somewhere you will see them. Make your sentences. Say them out loud.
Step 3. Make a commitment to the never miss twice rule. Not a goal, a rule. Goals are things you hope to do. Rules are things you have already decided to do.
And that is a shift. That is everything. From hoping to deciding, from goal setting to system building, from I want to speak English to I am someone who speaks English.
If you want to go deeper on these ideas, the two books we talked about today are Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. We've put the links in the pinned comment below. Go check that out when you have a moment. Both books are written in clear, simple English, so they're actually great reading practice too.
That is such a good point. Reading those books is already part of your system.
And one more thing before we go. If today's episode meant something to you, if it shifted something inside you even a little, share it with one person who's also learning English. Because the best thing about building a system is that it's even better when you don't do it alone.
We're back every Monday and every Saturday. Monday for conversations just like this one. Saturday for something a little different. So come back, bring your 10 minutes, and let's keep building together.
You're not behind. You're not too slow. You're not too shy. You're just one decision away from a system that will change everything. And that decision, you can make it right now.
See you Monday. Keep practicing.
Keep showing up every single day.